James Bay on XFM. This is Josh Widdicombe. Good morning. Good morning also to producer Neil, who is manning the reins as per. By the law of averages, do you think there is a James Bay somewhere?
Yeah, there's the James Bay who wrote that song.
No. Like a place.
Oh, I would say so, yeah.
Do you think it's a kind of indie mecca? Well, I say indie, kind of MOR mecca.
I imagine it's very tranquil.
Yeah. Now, we need to cut to the chase here. You did the least sexy thing I've ever seen on the way into the studio.
Okay.
Would you like to describe it?
Well, to get into the studios, you have to... they're all locked, so you have a pass, and my pass was in my back pocket, so I just rubbed
your tight little jeans.
I just rubbed my bum against the door.
But you had to kind of... The thing you have to rub it against was a bit too high, so you had to kind of go on tiptoes in a kind of coquettish manner. Also, gave a look over your shoulder as you did it. Like you were Jessica Rabbit.
Look, if you want to see something even less sexy, then...
No, I don't want to see it.
During the next song, I can give you something.
What's that?
Well, wait, a surprise.
No, I don't want to see that.
Okay.
No, I don't want to see it. Is it any nude bit of your body?
It's fine.
I don't know what we're talking about. I suppose we should address the fact I had my phone stolen this week. Not because I want to talk about it, because it feels like the kind of thing you do talk about.
I was worried about you.
Were you? Why?
I
was mugged, mate.
Exactly.
That's what happens when you hang out on the mean streets of Harlem. He just grabbed my phone out my hand, and then he kind of slowly cycled away.
Did you not run after them?
No, and I'm glad, because I found out... I thought he'd cycled away very slowly, and then someone told me that they want you to give chase, because then they take you down a side street and mug you properly.
Oh, okay.
This is the second brush with crime I've had in the last 2 weeks. Last Wednesday, I was in a pub, 6 of us. So I was there. I'd just done Pappy's podcast, right? Because other podcasts are available. And Ben from Pappy's, his brother, was down from Wolverhampton, sat on the end of the table with his suitcase and a rucksack. He then looked to his right, and there was a guy emptying Ben's brother's rucksack into his own rucksack.
No.
So Ben Clark and his brother jump on this guy, try and stop him, get the bag off him. The guy eventually makes a breakaway. Everyone goes home except me and Matthew Crosby, who stay for another pint. Legends. At that point, about half an hour later, the guy comes back in, goes to the people at the next table and goes, "Yeah, I was just stealing a guy's bag and I've lost my car keys." He'd lost his car keys. So he looked, and then we were like, and then he left, and then he came back in again. I shouted, "Oi."
Threatening.
Legend. And he's still looking for his car keys. We texted Ben Clark's brother, who had the guy's car keys.
Brilliant. That's what he done. He sold his car.
Well, I wondered a few days later, it's too late now probably, but could you use that to trace the car? Or you could just walk around all the streets in Zone 1, just clicking it, hoping a car will turn on.
But then you could find out if that opened up the registration, DVLA, who it belonged to.
Exactly.
Who tried to mug
You could return a stolen car.
Josh Widdicombe.
This is unfinished business now on the Josh Widdicombe Show. Your correspondence from the last week. Dear Josh, producer Neil and intern Charles, if he's still around, as I listen to these in such an obscure order, it's hard to keep up. He is, but he's not today. Wiki Races has changed my life. Wiki Races is the game we play, in which you go from one Wikipedia page to another in as fewer moves as possible. I wouldn't say professional, but I'm certainly a natural at this game. The love affair began with a terrific performance on my first challenge, Raspberry to James Bond, completed in 2 clicks. Whoa! Wow! And has since blossomed. Richard Madeley to Kung Fu, 7 kicks. Barney and Friends to Chopsticks, 6 clicks. The list is endless. This Friday, my girlfriend wanted to go out on one of the many lovely bars Upper Street has to offer. I'm not sure about that. However, little did she know what I have planned. Recycling to the offside rule. Get clicking. Just wanted to drop by to show my appreciation, Jamie McCormack. It's good, isn't it? That someone's that. But is he playing against someone, or is he just doing is he playing on his own?
I think he's filling his own time.
Or can you play online?
Oh, that's the dream.
Or what you want to do, you want to publish a book. What we need to do, we need to publish a book, 101 Wiki Races, and they have par scores for each one. And you have to see whether you can get through the book under or over par.
Right, you're the one with the agent. Let's get on this.
Okay. Hi, Josh et al. Listening to the podcast numero 109. Not accepting that language. Dear Josh, producer Neil, and intern Charles. After your discussion about the name Neil the other week, I thought I'd email him with a story of my dad, another Neil. highlighting the perils that can come with the name. When he was young, he went to church. I can see where this is going. For the first time with his friend David. The priest happened to read a passage from the Bible which ended, "Come forth, David and kneel." My dad thought it was him and his friend David were being called up and stood up and walked to the front. I mean, I'm not sure that sounds true. Needless to say, he was very embarrassed when it was explained to him that he was not being called upon by God. I hope Neil never finds himself in this predicament. Regards, Emma. Have you?
No, God is never going to call upon me, I think.
Well, when you die, he calls upon us all at some point, mate.
Well,
Unless you're immortal.
Depends what you believe.
Yeah, I suppose it does.
On Sunday of all days to say that.
I know. I suppose if it's not the time for us to nail our colours to the mast. Religion.
I think we should name check Ben Barnes as well, the middle one there.
Shall we read it out anyway? Tim Key's app idea is fantastic. However, it is not possible as the phone would mute any other app audio whilst a phone call is in motion. Why did I read this out? Suggest playing Jones from Police Academy to just follow you around all day and step in when required. Ben Barnes, moderate to low podcast listener. Don't like Ben Barnes. If you've got any... No, he's fine. He's just ruined a great idea for an app. I mean, surely the app could override.
Well, this is what we were saying. So, Ben, just chill out a bit.
My stomach just...
That wasn't a sound effect.
No, it was a bagel that was 1.5 times through the bagel toaster after I threw it halfway down the conveyor belt today in an attempt to toast it perfectly. If you have any correspondence, Josh at xfm.co.uk.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast. XFM.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, let's make a plea that I talked about going to see Blur in Wolverhampton and how Michelle, who'd organised the tickets, had recommended a curry house for before the gig. I talked about how we'd been slightly reluctant to go and watch a gig on a heavy curry. I hadn't realised Michelle is a podcast listener. I received a text from her, a tweet in fact, which is odd because she's got my number, but she wanted to go public. Well, she was very polite about it. In fact, you know, she saw the funny side, and I said I was, playing it up for the radio. Which wasn't true, but I thought, I can't say that now because she's listening to this as well. When have you been caught slagging someone off, Neil?
I don't know if I ever have.
You're not?
I'm just quite honest with people. I see the good in most situations and people.
Do you?
I try.
Fair enough. We'll move on. DIY mishaps, because we have been talking a lot about DIY in the last couple of weeks, as we're both seemingly reaching a certain age.
Yeah.
I deadheaded my roses yesterday. Kind of thing XFM's crying out for.
How did you do it?
Pair of secateurs.
Good, okay, just checking.
Yeah, why? How would you do it?
No.
Karate chop?
Some people just pull them off.
It'd be a more childish man than me that would run with that, wouldn't it? Have you had DIY mishaps?
Well, I thought about it this week, actually, because a mate of mine, Tim, is far more proficient in DIY than I am, and he's redoing his house at the moment, including the plumbing.
Oh, come on, Tim.
Exactly.
Get in a man or woman. It's 2015.
Oh, anyway, so we did all the plumbing. He's been updating the progress on Instagram. So
what's he? I really want to follow him.
He's actually a snowboard and extreme sports commentator, so he does this on the downtime.
Is that a living?
You know, there was two people the BBC got complaints about their Sochi coverage.
Sochi,
sorry.
Their Sochi coverage was fine.
Anyway, so
Britain's not working. That was him, wasn't it?
Uploaded some pictures of the pipe work, then the floorboards, the flooring, the tiling, the bathroom suite going in.
And you're saying that he got complaints for his job rather than for this?
No. It was only when he went to flush the toilet for the first time, it flushed with warm water.
Oh, amazing.
Because he'd plumbed it in wrong.
Oh, wow. Is that an issue?
Well, not really, I guess.
If it was boiling hot, if anything, it would help remove more stubborn stains.
Probably would, yeah. But it must be a bit annoying if you've got a combi boiler that every time you flush the toilet, the boiler kicks in.
So what's he going to do?
I think he just took up the floor.
Also, for someone so obsessed with snowy sports, that's the last thing he needs. Is that, come away from oh no, because I suppose he's still living in the climate of what, Reading?
No, it's Birmingham.
If you know whether hot water is good or bad for a toilet, I imagine, like, if you're really rich, that's the ultimate luxury.
Well, it's kind of like a bidet and a toilet all in one, isn't it? Surely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's my bidet and I'll flush if I want to. I mean, come on. What? What's wrong with that? Stop shaking your head at me. I can see you laughing. You've just got it. That's the problem. It took you 10 seconds for the joke to land.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
If you had to cover a David Bowie song for a charity single, what would you do?
Let's Dance.
Would you?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
Well, let's make the dream happen. And what charity would you choose? I mean, that's not going to be funny. Let's move on. Now, there's not going to be one I'm going to be able to slag off. I'm going to choose Macmillan Cancer Care. Fair enough. Yeah, it's a great charity. Now, would you like to hear a DIY mishap or a story of slagging off?
I'm happy either way.
That's of little to no help.
All right, DIY mishap then.
My dad, this is from Joanna White. My dad was putting a new light fitting in our bathroom. Switched on the new light, and my bedroom light came on. But then you get that weird thing with the... Do you know, I hate the bathroom switch outside the bathroom.
Why not?
I prefer the pull within the bathroom. Pull switch within the bathroom, don't I? Can see you thinking of an amusing innuendo.
I was thinking you have to then replace the cord more often because it gets all like green and brown.
Yeah,
and
but don't you fear that some scamp is going to turn the lights off while you're sat on the john?
Yeah, but I'm an adult, so I'm not scared of the dark.
All right, fine. Are you not scared of the dark?
No, you.
You'd happily sit on the toilet in the dark for 24 hours?
No, because
Is that what you're saying?
I get dead legs, or I get bored.
You get bored? What's wrong with your thoughts,
I'd
mate?
spend 24 hours in the bathroom if it came to it.
Would you?
Yeah.
Let's plot through your 24 hours. Would you sleep? It's a dark bathroom. You haven't got your phone. What would you do with your time? It's pitch black. Well, at least you'd know you could go to the toilet, drink from the tap.
Exactly. I'd probably try and sleep in the bath.
Would you have a shower?
Maybe at some point. Yeah.
Something to do, isn't it?
Yeah. I would try and guess the herbs or the fruit flavours.
I might go through my toiletries and just kind of have a kind of bit of a clear out. Maybe see if I've got more than one box of paracetamol. I'd like to try and put them both in one box to save space.
Maybe if you keep the cleaning products in the bathroom, you could give it a really good going over. Get those bits you always neglect when you just...
Yeah. I think this is probably the worst link we've ever done. But I'm sticking with it. I mean, Joanna White never thought it would lead to this.
Josh Widdicombe.
All Along the Watchtower, played especially for Mr. Nish Kumar.
One of my favourite songs ever.
Is
by
it?
two of my favourite artists ever.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a massive Dylan and Hendrix fan.
Who do you think would win in a fight?
Hendrix has got a height advantage, but Dylan's wily. Also, I know for a fact that Dylan owns multiple boxing gyms.
What, for his own good or just as a kind of business?
I think it's like a sideline business, but he also has trained as a boxer, which I think is why he's still in pretty good shape, given that he's about 600 years old now.
Bob Dylan's body must have been through a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I saw the Stones at Glastonbury, and Mick Jagger is in
But he's been jogging since the mid-80s, hasn't he?
Yeah, I know, but before the mid-80s, he was pretty much exclusively living on... He was probably just, eating heroin cereal or whatever it was.
The lingo.
I
forgot that you had the drugs lingo.
You know that I've got the drugs lingo. What's that? Some cocaine Frosties? That works!
You what?
White dust on the Frosties could be cocaine.
That's not what Kellogg's do, though.
No, it's not.
Just for legal reasons. It would explain Tony the Tiger's incredibly upbeat demeanour.
So, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while.
What have you been up to? You've been to New Zealand, haven't you?
Yeah, I was in New Zealand for a month.
NZ?
Doing comedy.
Did you start referring to it as NZ?
No, I mean, I did try to drop a few New Zealandisms in, but I was quickly informed that they were not New Zealandisms. Apparently just saying The Hobbit and Daniel Vittori does not suggest that you've picked up any of the lingo.
No, it doesn't. Are they into The Hobbit, or do they see it as a annoying thing across their back?
No, they're really into it, in general. I mean,
Awful
certainly the
film.
people I'm in. I went to Hobbiton. I actually went there to the set of the movie. The set of the movies where... You know, for a guy who looks a lot like a Hobbit, you're pretty hostile to this franchise.
For a guy who auditioned.
Yeah, for a guy who auditioned, I remember
It's
that.
an awful film.
It's not.
I've not seen it, but it's just... I mean...
Bitterness, that's what that is.
No, it's
mate.
not. It's unrealistic.
That you could be in a Hollywood film, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
Neil's got sassier while I've been away. Snap.
I just think it's rubbish.
What do you mean? Do you only like films that could plausibly happen?
Correct.
My goodness, what a boring life you lead, Joshua.
If a film is set in either Britain or America post 1980, then I'm into it.
But that's you do realise that there are countries outside of Britain and America, and there was time before 1980.
Yeah, but I'm not interested in any of that.
What films? What's your favourite film?
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Right, there's loads of stuff. That's quite I love that movie, but it's quite fanciful.
Yeah, but it could happen.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Catfish and the Bottlemen Hourglass.
Great band name, guys.
Do you like the and the?
I like the and the as a band name genre.
I always felt that episode of Friends where they went to see Hooch and the Blowfish slightly undermined the thought that I'd ever want to hang out with them.
It also really dates Friends to a very specific part of 1995.
This is a so if you had to spend the rest of your life, you could only listen to the CD collection of one character from Friends.
Oof.
Who would it be?
I don't know. I think you'd want to avoid...
Let's go. I think Monica's not interested.
No.
Rachel would be awful.
Yeah.
That would be like commercial pop.
Yeah.
You might get the Immaculate Collection in there.
Yeah, if you're lucky. Or a Queen Greatest Hits.
Yeah. You'll get the Joshua Tree because she'll listen to it when she's thinking about Ross.
Yeah. In fact, Ross requests that song for her.
Yeah. So that's a potential.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can't live your life listening to the Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
I think
it was
Phoebe?
Confucius
What
who
about
said
Phoebe?
that originally. I can't decide because I feel like Phoebe might have the most credible music. I feel like Phoebe listens to like Joni Mitchell, maybe a little Dylan, or I can't decide.
Someone say Jagged Little Pill?
No one has said Jagged Little Pill since 1995. I wonder if Phoebe is either that or she just exclusively listens to Smelly Cat on a loop.
Oh, do you think? Yeah. Well, she obviously, and she can't listen to The Pretenders because in her reality, Chrissie Hynde is not Chrissie Hynde.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Ditto Elvis Costello. But
Yeah.
Ross, hear me out.
Yeah.
Ross, when he's doing his keyboard thing,
Yeah.
he might be into like craft work.
Yeah.
Ross might. I'd go Ross.
Do you know that...
Joey, shut up your face.
Yeah. I feel like Chandler's would be really annoying.
I think Chandler would have bought stuff because he wanted to be perceived to be cool.
Oh, that might be.
That's true.
Could you be any more correct, Neil? I think that is a very astute
and I think
observation.
Rachel might have been given gifts of like CDs and stuff like that from cool boyfriends.
Oh, do you think?
Yeah.
What,
I mean, I still... My
what,
instinct...
from Tag?
My instinct is still telling me that Phoebe is the only one who's into credible music.
I go Chandler.
Out of
I'm
a lot
going to
of
go
them.
Ross. There's no way to find out without...
Do you know that our friend Tom Neenan has been seething since Friends has been cancelled? Because he
Wasn't
believes...
cancelled?
No, well, since it ended.
I think they'd have happily carried on with it.
Because he is obsessed with the idea that there should have been a Ross spin-off. And the Ross spin-off is the great lost Friends spin-off.
But he can't because he's together with Rachel.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been saying to him for 10 years.
I'd like a Ross spin-off, but it prequels to when he was kind of a teenager.
What, when he
going
had
in
that
college.
afro hair with the
Yeah.
moustache? When Ross sort of looked like me.
What about Gunther?
Well, we all want to see that Gunther spin-off, but I imagine that would get dark very quickly. Gunther definitely killed people outside of Central Perk.
Yeah, but I bet he had good music taste. This is XFM.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
That was Kings of Leon, Closer on XFM. Now, the worst ever contestant on Call My Josh.
Yeah, by some distance.
By some
isn't it?
distance. You failed twice.
Yeah.
You got two failures. You're like Gary Balance batting for your place in the England team.
Keep your head, Gary. Keep your head.
You've
Keep
got
that
a lot-
front foot moving.
This is Josh Widdicombe with Nish Kumar playing Call My Josh.
Yep.
5 of a topic. Are they true or false? It's very simple.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited about this one because one of the things I did in New Zealand was watch you on Graham Norton.
That isn't in there.
Is it not in there?
No.
That's disappointing because that was one I was like, well, I'll definitely get one this week.
You loved watching that.
Yeah,
You were
I loved-
sending me photos
Yeah,
of it.
because it was so funny to watch Mark Ruffalo sass you. Like, it was so funny watching you get insulted by the Hulk. Like, it's just the sort of thing you don't expect to see.
He was a lovely bloke.
I bet
and
he was.
he's in my favourite film. I said that to him.
He's very handsome, isn't he?
He's so handsome.
He's so handsome.
I thought we could definitely be mates, and then I went on his Wikipedia page, and he's a 9/11 truther.
Is he?
One of your lot.
Not the...
Not like that. Not like
Not like that. I mean, conspiracy theorists.
Oh, wow.
Right, you ready?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm ready.
Did
One of your lot.
I meant
I know.
conspiracy theorists? Okay, 5 jobs. Can you beat your average score of 1.5?
So these are jobs that you've held.
Yeah. In the winter of 2002, did I make money selling fake Burberry scarves?
2002.
So I'd have been at university.
University.
Do you want a bit more information on it?
Yeah, more. I would
I
definitely.
worked on the German Christmas market,
Yeah.
and they were a 100% polyester scarf, and the brand was Cash Mink.
Right. Cash Mink. I think that's a lie. I think that's false.
He's kept his form. It's true.
Oh, swinging a miss from balance.
Yeah. Number 2. Did I do one gig as a roadie for the band 9 Black Alps?
I don't believe you were anyone ever employed you as a roadie. I think that is 100% false.
Correct.
Great choice of band. Great choice of occupation. I'm trying to imagine you lifting an amp.
Did I do one shift checking the electronic advertising boards were on in tube stations?
What year was this?
09.
See, I think I knew you in 09.
No, I don't think you did. I think... yeah, it would have been just about as I
Yeah.
knew you.
No, I think that's false.
It's true.
Oh, what? I'm so bad at this game.
Okay.
Why? How did you get a job checking the electronic?
It was when I was freelancing at
Yeah.
The Guardian,
Yeah.
and they didn't have that many shifts, but someone knew the guy that ran the thing. You just didn't need to even do it. Because you were you were checking. So, I mean, but I had to wear a tabard that I didn't wear.
That's because I thought you were working at the Guardian. I didn't realise you freelanced.
So, 1 out of 3. Was I a staff writer for Women's Own?
I want that to be true so bad. I think it's false.
It is false, too.
That's Too Funny a magazine. That's something that
did I go too far?
Yeah, I think that's too
What
funny
should
a
I have gone
magazine.
with? Chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 out of 4. This is for your highest ever score. In the summer of 1999, did I make money running a small business selling the shades you need to wear to watch the solar eclipse?
Oh, this is a difficult one. I think it's false.
Does anyone have Kevin Peterson's phone number? It was true.
Oh.
What? You set up your own?
Well, my sister worked for a firm that was selling these shades because it was the Southwest. I don't know if you remember, we were the only people in 1999 that were getting the full solar eclipse. It was big news.
Yeah.
She was like, I could sell you a box of these shades at cost price, and then you could sell them on and make loads of money. Didn't prove that way. Made £20.
That was a lot of money back in
Well, for
1999,
200
mate.
shades, if you actually...
Oh, that's not.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Noel Gallagher and his high-flying birds. Nish Kumar,
Hello.
we'd like to hear some stories of people being overheard slagging people off.
Absolutely, I would.
It's from Chris. I got overheard by Shane Warne. Yes. Already we're excited.
That's a huge opening.
Saying, oh, nobody, it's only Shane Warne. He put his arm around my shoulder and repeated it. I've got a grudging respect for Shane Warne for that.
Yeah.
What
I
a
think
guy.
I mean,
I think I'd like Shane Warne.
do you think so?
I don't know.
I can't tell if I'd find him odious. I'm a huge admirer of his bowling.
Yeah, and he's good. He's a good cricket commentator
And
as well.
I can't remember where this quote came from, but I think it was an Australian newspaper who, when he started dating Elizabeth Hurley, described him as the patron saint of men punching above their weight. I think it was an Australian newspaper.
Do you want one more?
Yeah.
James Longman, friend of the show,
Yeah, friend of the show.
texted my flatmate once by accident, calling him a fat expletive. He was sat next to me. That's the classic mistake, isn't it?
Yeah, texting the wrong person.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Are we all right to tell the story about the guy who you lived with in Edinburgh who mistaked the two Asian?
So one year in Edinburgh, when I was doing a student sketch show, so there were about 5 of us in the group plus 2 producers.
But that was good.
Yeah, it was we were in a flat, and so what that meant
Out
was,
of 10, how awful was the show?
the show was not bad.
Oh, was it not?
Old Habits Die Hard, it was called, and it had a picture of a nun with a gun on the front.
Oh, my word.
But anyway, so there were loads of people coming to stay because there were, everyone's friends were coming up. And so there was one bloke who was there for a couple of days, and then another one of our friends came up, a gentleman called Tanzil, who is a very good friend of mine and who is of Asian extraction, which is important.
Which, for the listener, you are as well.
Yeah, which I am as well, yeah. And so they were all in the kitchen, and everyone was there who was staying in the flat at that moment, apart from me. That's very important.
Yeah.
So then this guy, one of the friends of one of our producers, came into the room, and he and Tans had arranged to go and see a show together. And he walked into the room, and he looked at Tans, and everybody was there talking, and he just went, Nish, what time are we going to see that show? And there was just a long silence, and Tans just went, I'm Tans, mate.
Oh, my God.
And the guy went, yeah, I know, yeah, okay, see you later. And then he walked out of the flat, and we never saw him again.
Oh.
It was just extraordinary.
Wow.
It was absolutely incredible. It was just incredible. And also that we knew that guy was a bit weird because the previous day he'd come in to have lunch, and his lunch was a whole cooked roast chicken that he bought from Tesco, which he ate just straight out of the packet with a knife and fork.
And he thought it was a turkey.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Ivo Graham.
Hello.
Nish Kumar.
Hello.
How are you, Ivo?
Furious.
How come?
Because I'm late for most things, and I've turned up very on time for XFM today, and all that's meant is sitting off mic listening to an hour of just about an all-time list of the riffs I'd most have liked to be involved in. Okay. This is on my character, riffs about Friends characters and their music taste, and then drugs and serial characters. Could have talked about Toucan Sam, the Fruit Loops bird.
What about
too
Prof
late now.
Wito? Anyway.
Prof Wito.
Ivo.
Yes.
Ivo. Have you ever been caught slagging someone off or heard someone slagging you off?
I've heard someone slagging me off after a gig.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that.
When you go into the loo, it wasn't too bad, but just a couple of people came in, and I was having a sit down wee just after a gig, and 2 people came in, and one was saying, "Oh, what do you think?" And they started to critique it, and then the other one went, "Oh, there's a locked cubicle. He might be in there."
No.
And the other one went, "Are you in there?"
What did you do?
Nothing.
Oh, no.
Were you not tempted to put on a fake voice?
No, absolutely not.
No, it's not Ivo.
I thought I'd plumbed an up-depth without resulting in terms.
Do you want to hear from James?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Dear Josh and team, I haven't been caught slagging someone off, but I did once catch someone slagging me off. In my first week at university, there was a party at our flat, and I went to the shop to get supplies. Upon my return, I walked past our kitchen window to hear the following conversation between my housemate and our neighbour. Housemate, I think you're the first person I've ever met from Staffordshire. Neighbour, James is from Staffordshire too. Housemate, we're the first person I've met that I like from Staffordshire.
First of all, my first note for James is, how boring was that party? That the topic of conversation was, oh, you're the first person I've met from Staffordshire.
Needless to say, I had the last laugh as the neighbour went on to become one of my best friends and my housemate quit university in his second year.
Oh, dear.
James.
I don't think I could categorise my friends into what county they're from. I've never sort of idly gone.
Could you play the room?
Devon,
Yeah.
famously.
Yeah.
And Greater London.
Yeah, exactly.
Josh Widdicombe.
Johnny Marr candidates, presumably Nish, Ivo and Neil. We're all big fans of Johnny Marr's guitar work.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Second best guitarist ever after Graham Coxon, officially.
Oh,
Now,
Joshua.
I'd like to see Graham Coxon revitalise Modest Mouse.
so would I. That'd be brilliant. Do you want you're all football fans. Shall we have one about slagging off a referee?
Yes, please.
Following a 2-1 defeat in the Hampshire Cup, Can you name anyone from Hampshire?
Yeah. I've never met a referee that I liked from Hampshire.
I was driving friends home from our match. In the 90th minute, the ref asked the opposition striker, "Do you want a quick free kick or 10 yards for the free kick on the edge of our box?" The striker said 10 yards, but as the ref was walking the wall back, the striker bent the free kick into the top corner.
Ooh.
The ref gave the goal. Cue chaotic scenes. So, on the way home, I ripped into the ref for a good few minutes about his performance amongst a few other appearance-based insults. It was only when I noticed nobody in the car was joining in my vitriol that I looked in the rearview mirror to see the ref in my car. I'd forgotten we'd offered him a lift back into town.
How is that?
I just don't know how that's possible.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
That is sent from Michael Tyler's iPhone device.
I love the
Which he
role.
presumably immediately mislaid.
I love the role that his friends must have played in that. Classic Friends role of, go on then, what do you really think? When you know that someone's in the press, someone's behind the
Where
back.
do you think the ref was sat, middle, or do you reckon he was in one of the...
No, he must have been off to the side, because presumably if he was in the middle,
Oh, you'd
Yeah.
just be looking at him in the rearview mirror.
Oh, that poor ref. I'd have jumped in if I was the ref and defended myself.
I'd have jumped out
I haven't
of
got
the
a
car.
nose. Have you ever had any DIY mishaps, Ivo?
No, I'm not very practical, and I'm going home after the show to my girlfriend's flat because someone's come around to fix a door handle because I pulled the door handle out in a row.
What happened?
I tried to do a storm out, but pulled the door handle out in not especially. I think it was loose already, but it was quite sort of demeaning because then we were locked in and we had to shout for her flatmate to come and from the outside.
I mean, that is... You two are a regular Burton and Taylor.
Oh,
Wow,
lovely.
that is amazing.
Oh, that is extraordinary.
Just your classic Friday night in.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast. XFM.
The Smiths, this charming man on XFM, now on the Josh Widdicombe Show. We come to the game that is sweeping the nation. Wiki Races. After 2 defeats in the game of going from one Wikipedia to the other, in as fewer moves as possible, Ivo Graham will this week be facing Nish Kumar. Last week we went from Angel Cake to Coolio.
Who's American? Coolio fan.
It turns out
not a British grime.
Guess
he's
it.
not what
But-
Ivo thought, a British grime artist.
But you have to remember, I didn't know anything about Coolio. All I knew was that he did student appearances in England.
Yeah, we get it, mate. You're younger than us.
Yeah.
Message received, Ivo.
Coolio is now going to Medicine Ball. Nish, you didn't cheat?
I didn't cheat. Here's how I did it. I started with Coolio's page, and I sort of went down it to see what I could find. I didn't know whether Coolio was one of those people who, like, had suddenly become buff or got into exercise or something like that. He did present his own online cookery show,
He
I
did,
believe,
yeah.
at one
Cooking
point.
with Coolio.
Cooking with Coolio,
Which
yeah.
has come up on my Amazon recommendation since I started playing this game.
So I didn't know quite how to... Why were you on Amazon? No wonder you're so bad at this. Not even on the right
You
website.
worked your way onto Amazon.
You are bad at this game.
Ivo goes out into the citations.
I've ended up at Kevin Bacon. So I went down Coolio's Wikipedia page, and it turns out Coolio has quite the filmography. And he's been in a whole load of movies, including Leprechaun in the Hood. He also appeared in Keenan and Kel, which I did know. He appeared in Sang the Theme Tune. I didn't realise he was in Batman and Robin as well. Anyway, this is a whole...
Stop
we could do
teasing me, Nish.
We could
Come
do
on,
a
give me
whole
the
hour
stats.
on Coolio's
Yeah.
filmography. I went down the filmography and I found Daredevil. Now, this is where
the Ben
things
Affleck
get...
film.
Yeah, now this is where things get a bit geeky, because I thought Ben Affleck has done a lot of training for Batman. So I thought maybe I can get to Ben Affleck's page. But it turned out the other thing that I know about Daredevil is that the character of Daredevil is very much into hand-to-hand combat, and his dad was a boxer. So,
Coolio and Daredevil. Enough of my university nicknames, please.
oh wait, hang on.
If you had to, from now on, go up to people and say, what would you rather call... I would now like to refer to us. Would you choose Coolio or Daredevil?
Choose Coolio.
You choose Coolio.
Yeah. I think Coolio you might be able to sort of hide under the veneer of irony. So I then went Daredevil the film to Daredevil the Marvel Comics character.
Yeah.
And from Daredevil, the Marvel Comics character, I went down into his history, and his one of the sentences, his dad was killed by gangsters after refusing to throw a fight. I clicked on throw a fight.
You didn't click on gangsters and end up back at Coolio.
Disambiguation. Paradise. Yeah. I clicked on match fixing, and then from match fixing, I went to boxing. Because that's one of the sports that obviously is
Very good. This
rigged
is
by
great.
that. And then from boxing, I thought, well, I'll have to go
Training or
to a
something?
couple more. I went down to the equipment subsection, and one of the things listed in equipment for boxing
wow.
is medicine ball.
Brilliant work. Really good. Absolutely brilliant work. How many nil?
I meant that's 6.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Ivo.
Well, as ever, I have eschewed the direct path for the scenic route.
Take us through it.
I didn't even make it to filmography. I went Coolio, and then I went Celebrity Big Brother. Which I
Yeah,
think
that
was
would have been the
used
route I'd have thought.
previously on to get to Coolio, because that opens up all kinds of things. And I
Yeah.
thought, which Celebrity Big Brother person was most likely to do some sort of fitness DVD?
Yeah.
And I went for Alex Reid.
That's good.
The cage fighting ex-boyfriend of Jordan.
Cage fighting, match fixing,
Yeah.
boxing.
So well, it was Alex Reid, then kickboxing, then
Yeah.
physical fitness. I thought, I'm here now.
Yeah.
But not for the first time in my life. I got lost in the world of physical fitness. Because I didn't...
God, you did really well so
I know,
far.
but it was a bit like you getting when you had to get to angel cake and you got into cakes and it took you about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I putted out.
Sometimes you're knocking on the door, but no one is answering. But there wasn't a list of equipment, I don't think, so I went physical fitness, bodybuilding, strength training, and then, agonisingly, we got a link from strength training to exercise ball. But within that, had to go for medicine ball for a more specific time. Wikipedia is a cruel mistress.
how
9
many?
moves. My
Nice.
first single figures. My first single figures.
First single
journey.
figures. Good quality this week now.
Very good. Congratulations, Nish.
Thanks, I finally won a game.
Next week,
I've
what
got a
will we be going to, Neil?
Medicine ball to I think to something to do with serial characters.
Captain Rick.
Captain
Has
Rick.
Captain Rick gotten it inside?
Well, I was thinking, because I think, like Nish kind
Tony
of
the
proved,
Tiger.
you go from training and stuff like that, but I was thinking of actually taking it away from a person and going to a place. So we mentioned the referee from the Hampshire Cup, so medicine balls to Hampshire. The
Medicine
county.
balls to Hampshire.
We've not done a geographical thing, really.
Okay, medicine balls to Hampshire.
Josh Widdicombe.
More or less reaching the end of the interaction for today with our audience. Nish and Ivo, would you like to hear one more missive?
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
This is from Amy. My granddad had an interesting approach to DIY insofar as his objectives are primarily for his own amusement and as such are genuinely pointless. Open brackets, he lives on his own. Close brackets. Past projects have included fixing a trampoline up a tree. Open brackets, which didn't end well for my Aunt Debbie, close brackets. No! I've got no idea what happened.
That is a whole, book in parentheses.
Yeah. What? I mean, what?
It's a lovely get out of a sort of petering out anecdote. It's just to go, well, needless to say, it didn't work out well for my Aunt Debbie.
And also, trying to create a living room in a gazebo in his garden. Which lasted a year, however, didn't survive the winter, as the couches and the carpet he put down didn't cope well with the rain. Looking back, I'm fairly sure he also had a TV out there, which probably isn't advisable from a health and safety standpoint. Hope you're well, Amy.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Distant past on XFM, bringing us to the end of the Josh Widdicombe show. Just a chance for our guests to plug. Producer Neil.
I would like to plug the Tom Crane Story Show podcast that I also look after.
Okay.
Available. There's a new one up today.
There we go. I would like to. I'm on tour from September, the beginning, till December the end. JoshWiddicombe.co.uk. I'll be coming to a market town near you. Nish Kumar.
I'm on tour as well this year, in a tour that can be, at best, described as optimistically long. I'm on tour in October and November, so everyone that has said, hey, why are you not coming to this town? Now is your chance to make up an excuse for why you are not coming to see me. The show is called Long Word, Blah, 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 I'm So Clever, which is its actual title.
Yeah, that's a good
unbelievably.
title, strong title.
And I'm also at the Edinburgh Festival at the Pleasance at 7:15. All of the details of my tour and my Edinburgh show are at nishkumar.co.uk or at Mr. Nish Kumar on Twitter. Also, while I'm briefly plugging Twitter, we are doing live shows of this podcast at the Edinburgh Festival, and I'm going to be doing 5 Nishopedias. So if you have a Nishopedia that you feel particularly strongly about that we've done, 4. We're doing 4.
4 nights, mate.
We're doing 4 nights. The 5th night, I'm just doing it on my own. I'm playing everyone. I'm going to do it like Norbit. I'm playing Josh. I'm playing producer Neil. It's going to be great. That 5th night is going to be the one to come to. So any Nishopedias that you feel strongly about, ones that we've missed, follow-ups to ones that we've done, please tweet me at Mr. Nish Kumar.
If you're a new listener, Nishopedia is Nish's weird, wild conspicy theories from the
You're a
internet.
new
any
listener,
conspiracy
too late.
theories.
Ivo Graham.
Obviously gutting to be the only person in the studio who's not on tour. I might well be coming to a market town near you, but will only to be to source some local organic produce. But I am doing an Edinburgh show at 6 p.m. every day at the Pleasance in Edinburgh, and I'll be doing previews throughout June and July. So I'm on Twitter, and I've got a website which lists those.
What's your website?
ivograham.com.
There we go.
It's got a blog section. Yet to see a blog, but it's there. It's there. If I want a blog, it's there.
Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for contributing.
Josh Widdicombe.
XFM.